All right, man. Torture talk, man. How y'all doing, man? This shit never stops. Yo, it never stops. It never stops. So look, man. What did I just say on the last video? I just said this. I literally just said that Drake, you don't know who this guy is. He goes from one sitting down with this chick Bobby and he's talking one way and then he talks a different way. I want y'all to, this is in real time. This is in real time. I want y'all to witness the switch up. And there is a silver lining in this, and I'm going to break it down because I think that all of this is connected somehow. So, before we get into that legendary spill, this is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description right here on the screen, Cash App. No more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,000. And yes, King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. Also, too, go subscribe to Torture Talk After Hours. All that good stuff, man. So, look. Drake out here talking tough, man. And if you're a Drake fan, I just need to understand something. Why is it okay for him to talk tough when y'all know that he's not like that? He's not like that. Y'all know he's not like that. Like, Drake is literally not like that. Why do y'all just accept that? As a fan of Drake, and I'm being honest, I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just asking, why do y'all accept this behavior from him when he acts tough like this? Why? Why y'all don't check him as his fans? I don't know. But we gonna get into it, man. Let's do it. All right, man. This comes courtesy of Flacco. You know what it is, man. Torture Talk. Let's get it.
Drake and Bobby Altoff just dropped their new interview earlier this morning, despite the fact that the first interview got a lot of backlash from people in hip-hop medias and hip-hop fans because they want to see Drake sit down and speak to somebody in hip-hop media or of the culture who would ask Drake questions that we want to know, opposed to doing softball interviews with Bobby Altoff or other people who aren't really of the culture. But during this interview, it looks like Drake heard all the criticism from the first interview, and Drake's kind of threw shots or strike back at hip hop media. Now, Drake's shots at hip hop media was pretty blanket and targeted at the same time. It was blanket because he didn't say names, but it was targeted because we knew exactly who he was referring to.
I really do feel like, and people are asked like, oh, why are you here doing this again? Mm-hmm. Like, what's the point? Like, even on the way up here, like, my boy was like, why are you doing this again? And I was like, well, what we did, like, it changed a lot of things for a lot of people. It was me essentially, like, just recognizing somebody that I never met in my life, that I fully believed in, that I thought was really interesting and I wanted to have an interesting conversation with. It pissed off like so many, like all these losers, these like, you know, like story journalists and like this guy and that guy who like feels so entitled to this interview about, and Drake never does anything for like this type of media. And it just like made people so angry.
Before the battle, y'all do my stance. I was
Listen, man. Bro, if he ain't making it clear as day right there, I don't know what to tell y'all. He's making it clear as day. There is no way you can tell me that he's not making this clear as day. He called a bunch of losers. But the thing is, I understand exactly what he's saying. He's saying like, and I said this before, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Drake's not obligated to do no interview with anybody. He's not. He's really not. I think that people like academics deserve an interview. I definitely believe that, but he's not obligated to sit down with nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I think that with that being said, hip hop journalists should just not cover him. Not me, because I'm a commentator. But hip hop journalists should not cover him. They shouldn't even worry about him. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's just weird to me that he would even bring that up. He could have went around that without saying that. He could have said, "Look, I just wanted to do the interview with you because I found you interesting." Those other guys, they cool, but you know. But he said what he really felt, so I can't really be mad at that. That's what he feel. And if you still want to do an interview with him, I don't know what to tell you.
Making multiple videos calling Drake out for not doing any interviews with hip hop media or with someone from the culture or within the culture who can ask him the hard pressing questions that we want to know. I was calling Drake out too. Post battle, I gotta take a hard look in that mirror and look at hip hop media and say, who can Drake do an interview with in hip hop media? Post the battle. In this current era of Stan Wars, who could Drake do an interview with that will satisfy the culture? Who? He can't do an interview with the quote unquote legacy journalist that y'all want to see him with. Elliot, cut it out, bro. Elliot posted multiple renditions of Not Like Us just to troll Drake. Who else? Rob Markman, Drake despises him. He hates Drake. He's a Kendrick guy. Who else?
That's actually not true. That's actually false. You can't do that, bro. That's fake news, bro. Rob Markman does not hate Drake, bro. He don't. I think that he was the most out of everybody I've seen. He was the most fairest out of all of them. He called it straight down the middle. And he didn't play no games. You really out here. Well, if that's your opinion, okay, cool. But he doesn't hate Drake, bro. He even said it in his joint. He said he don't hate Drake, bro. That's not cool for you to do that, bro. That's not good.
The company man of Not Like Us just to troll Drake. Who else? Rob Markman, Drake despises him. He hates Drake. He's a Kendrick guy. Who else? The company man, cut it out, man. He hates Drake. Who can Drake do an interview with? Who?
He could do an interview with you. He could do an interview with you. I mean, why are you naming all these other people? He could just do the interview with you. With you, Flacco. I don't understand why people do that. Who can he do an interview with? Who? Who can he do an interview with? Who? You, nigga. You got enough following? You got what, half a million following, or a quarter of a million following now? I'm sure you got more. Well, maybe not, but you're more respected than Bobby. He could do an interview with you. You sure enough went off on Kendrick, said that he turned the culture against him. So maybe he's gonna say him. I don't know.
Go down the list. Even if you want to say, okay, do an interview with somebody that he likes. DJ Academics, that wouldn't satisfy the culture because it's a home turf interview. It would be a nice interview, just like I wouldn't want to see Kendrick.
That's not true. That's not true. I know a lot of y'all probably think, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, I 100% believe that Academics will not give Drake a softball interview. Listen, I know a lot of y'all probably say what y'all say, whatever. I'm just telling you, I do not believe that Academics would do that. I think Academics, and this is just my opinion, I think Academics, he cares about himself more than he cares about anything else. Let's just be clear. I definitely believe that Academics would do an interview with Drake to satisfy his self-ego, to see where it's at. I don't think that he would just do an interview with Drake and just say nice things. I don't think that's the case. I actually think Academics is setting Drake up to do an interview with him so he can say some things that Drake don't like. And I think Drake knows this.
Lamar with DJ Head or Glasses Malone, it's home turf. It's too friendly. Who on the top 25 media list can Drake do an interview with?
That doesn't make sense then. If you saying that it's home turf is too friendly, then he should be able to do an interview with the company man. Then, like, what are you saying? You saying that they shouldn't do interviews with people that is home turf, or they should? Because if you're saying that he shouldn't do an interview with academic because it wouldn't satisfy everybody, that's not the point. The point isn't to satisfy everybody. The point is for people to get clarification. It's not for satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? It's for clarification. That's the point. Nobody's going to be satisfied. If he did an interview, like he doing an interview with this girl, nobody's satisfied. He could do an interview with anybody, nobody's going to be satisfied. It's about clarification. And he just made it clear a few minutes ago about what he said about the journalist.
We don't have it. And we have ourselves to blame. Same reason Kendrick Lamar don't have much options to do an interview with. It's because of us. So when you ask Drake, hey, Drake, do an interview. Hey, Drake, give a stimulus package to somebody unknown, like how you give a stimulus package to Bobby Alto. Who would Drake give that stimulus package to? Who? Screwface Jean? Cut it out. Jalopy? Cut it out. Who?
But see, now you trying to be smart. You naming people who you know they directly don't like Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like that would, to be honest with you, it's kind of fire that you shouted Jalopy out because he doesn't even have as many subscribers as you do, but he's on your mind like that. That's crazy to me that Jalopy is on a lot of y'all minds. That means that Jalopy is doing something right because I've seen people who have over 4 million subs talk about Jalopy. You see how that works? A small channel, well, compared to them, but a small channel that says one thing got y'all in y'all feelings. Cause y'all know what he was doing was a movement. It's nothing y'all could do about it. It's crazy.
Who, man? Who? My guy, what's the dirt? Y'all wouldn't be satisfied with that. Who?
And this goes to show you that you literally are siding with Drake when you say stuff like, my guy, what's the dirt? You just like, a lot of y'all be showing y'all hand and you don't need to even do that. You could just say, what's the dirt? Why my guy? Like, he's your guy? That's your guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Cut it out.
Ooh. So before we complain, we now have to ask ourselves, who can it be? Ebro? Ebro has slandered Drake for the last, 5 years? Calling Drake blackness into question, questioning Drake's mother heritage. Nadeska, who was crying in front of Kendrick Lamar while conducting an interview with him?
Well, that doesn't mean that she shouldn't get the interview. She's very fair. I love Nadeska, by the way. She's very fair. And then on top of that, so what? She was crying. Maybe she felt like she was in the presence of greatness. People cry when it's in front of Michael Jackson. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you know, maybe she'll cry in front of Drake. You never know.
Jeremy Hackchuck. Who? Now, I love Jeremy, by the way, but who? Because we're currently in an era of Stan Wars, you either pro Kendrick or pro Drake.
So which one are you? This is the thing. It's like, y'all say these things, which one are you? Because if you're not pro Drake or pro Kendrick, then you should be able to do the interview. Correct? Right? Y'all agree, right? If he's not pro Drake or pro Kendrick, then why can't he do the interview? Right? You know what I'm saying? He putting all these people ahead of him. Some of these people don't have more subscribers than he do. They don't have a bigger following like he do. He's pretty big. You know what I'm saying? Pretty big.
There's very few people who are in the middle. And those who are in the middle, y'all push to a side anyway. I think I'm in the middle, but y'all push me to a side. Even though I was kicked out the OVO group chats, y'all still push me to a side because I call it down the middle. So it's easy for us to say Drake do an interview, but it's harder to list the person Drake can do an interview with. Go down that top 25 hip hop media list by Complex, which I don't think that's the media list, okay? Who? Zias and Bilou, that wouldn't satisfy the culture. Arshawn Jawad, that wouldn't satisfy the culture. Bootleg Kev, he's West Coast, right? He's pro Kendrick. Drake wouldn't do that, right? Big Boy, come West Coast. Drake wouldn't do that. Nadeska, Crowded, man, come on. DDG, we would see that, but that wouldn't satisfy the culture. That would be another softball interview with a streamer. Elliot, cut it out. DJ Head, come on. West Coast. Jadakiss and Fat Joe, I'll be real.
That's probably a good one. Not gonna lie. That's a good one right there. That's a good one. Now, even though Fat Joe did say, well, you know what? Now that I think about it, it might be, it might not be, because Jadakiss did pick Drake over Kendrick. And Fat Joe said that he don't think Kendrick is going to respond at the time. So, but that's a neutral one. That really is. That's a neutral one.
That might be an option, but they don't ask no hard-hitting questions. Have you ever watched a Jadakiss and Fat Joe podcast or interview? Have you ever done it? Go watch one of those interviews, bro. Right? The entire podcast will be Jadakiss and Fat Joe skirting around controversial issues, talking about, we ain't trying to be messy, yo. We ain't trying to be messy, yo. We different from other podcasts, son. Who else? Shannon Sharp, man. Yo, y'all will blackball Drake immediately, bro. Traplo Ross, come on. I want to see it, but that's too friendly. Ebro, no chance. Nori, come on. Drink champs. Maybe we got one. I love Nori.
That's actually a good one too. I will say this. Controversial questions, asking him how did he feel about Not Like Us is not a controversial question. That's not controversial. That's not even a hard question. How did you feel about the battle? That is a normal question that everybody wants to know about. It's not something where this is a hard question for him. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, it's not. That's not a hard question. Come on, man.
I love Nori. But if we're relying on Drink Champs to do a textbook journalistic interview with Drake, then we've already lost the plot.
That two people who actually like have just like maybe nothing to talk about, or everything to talk about, but just based on like random energy could come together. I think it changed a lot of things. It changed a lot of things like on TikTok. It changed a lot of things like in the streaming world. Like it made people more comfortable to go sit down with somebody that they've never sat down with before, you know, like not to take like overly take credit, but
I understand exactly what he's saying. I understand. And in some sense that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good that a superstar could sit down with someone that they never met, a normal person. Because she's not hip hop media, she's not a journalist. She's just a normal, regular girl, wherever. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. What he just said. I'm not going to listen, bro. You know how I feel about the battle, but I'm not going to fake it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just won't do that. If Drake does something that I think is okay, I'm gonna say that, even though he's a doodle ball. But I'm gonna be honest. Not gonna lie to y'all. That'd be stupid. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely think what he's saying is true. A lot of people, they don't listen in. A lot of people don't sit down with just normal people. And I understand exactly what he's saying. It's the truth.
I do see like somebody, you know, who keeps to themselves, like a Nicki Minaj, like go to like Kai Cenat's house, or like I see, you know, these musicians go to like a guy like Blackboy Max's studio and start making songs with him. Like I feel like we did usher in the idea of just like you can be from two completely different walks of life. Celebrities are not here, that we're like, the goal is not to be like some unattainable for your whole life, you know, and only to like sit with Zane Lowe while he like asks you like the most like curated and formal questions. No disrespect to him, you know, like
Yeah.
Drake, I just got done doing a video where I'm calling Young Thug delusional. I'm not gonna let you escape by it, homie. You didn't invent the genre where rappers go on other platforms with streamers, bro. You cut it out, man. Tory Lanez.
Yo, that is funny as hell. I listen. The sentiment I understand, but Flacco's right about that. And I said this in the other video. You didn't invent that. I understand what he's saying and why he's saying it, but for him to come out and say, "Yeah, well, we ushered this in," nah, you didn't usher that in, bro. Boy, that's been happening. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what he's saying. But I think he's doing this on purpose, though. To be honest with y'all, I think Drake is doing this. Obviously, he's doing it on purpose, but I think he's doing it because he's once in this. Everything is him and Kendrick. I'm telling you, I think he's doing this to spite Kendrick. Like, look, I'm with the normal folk, and you out here, this mega superstar. It's like, first of all, you was the mega superstar. Now you want to be normal. When Kendrick said, you like being famous. Now all of a sudden, now you don't want to be famous now, and you're trying to flip it like Kendrick wants to be famous. Like, it's so crazy, bro. This is crazy.
Was doing that before you. Aiden Ross had multiple rappers during the pandemic. Drake, stop it, homie. We love you. Don't go down this route. For God's sakes, don't go down this route. I think Drake will be perfectly good in his right to say, hey, listen, man, I'm not doing no interviews with none of y'all, right? Because y'all hated on me, right? Because y'all, right, like have tried to end me. F y'all. He'll be in his right to say that. Now, do I believe Drake owes the culture this? I do believe he owes it, but I don't believe Drake is owning it alone, right? I think the same pressure we putting on Drake, we got to put it on Kendrick. Kendrick has to come out and sit down too. If we claiming that Drake has to do it, right?
Well, I mean, some of that you could say true, but Kendrick didn't lose, so he don't really have to say much if he does an interview. It's the person who lost that did all of these things that people want to hear from. The winner, people don't really want to hear from the winner. Like, I mean, maybe sometimes a victory speech, but nobody really wants to hear from the winner all the time. People want to hear from the loser. I'm talking like the audience, and because Drake is still a superpower, so people want to hear how did he cope with this. Like, people want to hear it. We live in an age of people have a lot of people with, let's just say, I'm not gonna say mental disorders. Let's just say mentally challenged people, stress and depression. We living with that. Drake is definitely depressed off of that, and I think he's finally getting over it. But this is something that he couldn't get around, and I think that this is where he's at. But yeah, I mean, if you're saying Kendrick got to sit down with somebody, yeah, but to be honest with you, people want to hear what Kendrick got to say. Yes, they do. But most people want to hear what Drake got to say because he lost the battle, and they want to. They want to know how did Not Like Us make him really feel. And to be honest with you, he would have been better off just coming out, just doing an interview about that a long time ago, and it probably wouldn't have stuck as much as it did. The more he avoided, the more people are going to want to hear what he feel about it. He should have definitely not did that. Definitely should have just did the interview about it.
Now, Elliot Wilson hasn't fully responded back to this just yet, but he responded back to the Drake and Bobby Altoff interview about 3 days ago before the full interview fully dropped. And here's what he had to say about it.
So that was rooted in controversy. So now she fake retires and now she's back with another Drake interview. And it's just like, again, and we also feel like Drake now is playing the hand of these people outside of this thing, sitting with the Aiden Rosses and all these other people. And I get it. It's part of the stake thing and gambling and kicks and whatever the fuck skills he has. He ain't sit with no hip hop people. He pumped fake Castanat that he was going to do a stream and pick these 17 contest winners of the fucking 19 contest winners of the video contest. And now he just draws it out here out of nowhere, with no stream with Castanat, and just draws it out now the same week, ironically. And then he wants to kick Rob Marcus back in because everybody's making fun that you're not talking to people outside the culture. So it all fucking connects. And no, I don't like this shit. And it's dumb. It's stupid.
You want to know why it shouldn't bother you?
Because it's entertainment. And I don't expect people at this point, and I said it before,
I'm really, man, DJ Head get on my fucking nerves, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, he really does, bro. Like, sometimes I feel like he be being nonchalant on purpose. Like I don't know, man. He just rubs me the wrong way when it comes to like, I don't know him personally. I'm just saying from what I see, I could tell being around him, he's a fucking dickhead, bro. Like he's one of those friends, you know y'all got those friends that always gotta correct you on everything. The actually nigga. Well, actually, like that nigga, yeah, I believe that's DJ Head, man. Actually, like, yeah, okay, nigga. Cut it out. I don't hate DJ Head. Don't get me fucked up. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like I just don't like his demeanor sometimes when it come to these him talking. Maybe that's the reason why the show is good, cause he's bombastic and he's like he's the stoic monk or some shit. Like, come on, bro.
Especially even Drake, Kendrick, or Cole, to do a real sit down with someone and really dissect their feelings of the last 2 years and tell their truth. I don't think there's value to them for that. Like that. Somebody, even academics made a point about that. It's like, do we get to the point where it's Vlad and we're paying for interviews? Because that is a lot of value, right? A Drake interview, a real interview, is worth what, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would think, right?
Million.
Yeah, exactly. So then, are we gonna start doing that and put bounties up and hit?
See what I mean? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, million. Like, you see what I mean? Like, come on. He's got to be Mr. Accurate. That's what I'm going to call him. Mr. Accurate. Like, come on, bro.
Drake, I got $2 million for you. Have to sit down with me and DJ Head. You won't do it. That's what I'm saying. I don't think any of them could have a real interview. So let's take it outside the culture thing. I think what we loved about the clips and what we hate about this type of stuff is that
certain people have a price.
we want to hear real interviews with people. Real interviews. And Drake, Kendrick, or Cole have no interest in doing a real interview with anyone right now. But yeah, we're supposed to just take this as what it's going to be. It's going to be entertainment. It's just satire.
Elliot Wilson assessment.
Well, I get what he's saying. Those three don't want to have an interview with anybody, right? Well, it ain't just them. You got Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem. Like, all of these artists that reach a certain pinnacle in their career, they don't really do interviews anymore. They really don't. Look at all the artists that I just named don't really do interviews. They don't. Jay-Z don't do no interviews. Nas interview? Like, when was the last time Nas did an interview? I believe it was Sway probably or some shit like that. Eminem, I believe that was Sway too. Jay-Z, Kendrick, Cole. I think Cole, he didn't do it. He did a stream, but it wasn't an interview. And Drake. These artists are like larger than life. They're not going to be out here doing these interviews with anybody. So I understand exactly what he's saying. Now, when you say dissect their feelings, y'all not doctors. We're not doctors. We're just asking just questions. So if Drake gets an interview, it's not that we're trying to dissect his feelings. We just want to know. But the reason why a lot of these artists won't do no interviews is because people use their words against them. It's better to not say nothing. Oh, Nicki Minaj is another one. She ain't doing interviews. You know what I'm saying? She's another one. But they'll use their words against them. That's why they don't do it. They learn to stay away from, especially hip-hop media. Because hip-hop media will use your words. Not hip-hop media. The people around hip-hop media will take your words out of context. They'll literally take your words out of context. It's crazy.
What this interview was gonna be was actually spot on, to be honest. All right, it was malarkey and foolery from the very beginning. Like, Drake at some point burst out in that interview and was singing to Bobby.
You like a lot of makeup on a girl? What's your thought? Don't do that. I don't like this. Do you like girls with makeup or no makeup? Makeup or no makeup? I don't like the sound of this. What are you singing? I feel like I've heard what you're singing.
Clearly, I mean, it's clear as day. Drake at this stage in his career is not interested in no hard-hitting interview with a journalist. But that's what made this interview hella more frustrating, because clearly Drake isn't taking his interview seriously. But Drake also engaged in conversation pieces that we care about. But Bobby Althoff was the interviewer, and she was incompetent or smart enough to know it's not her lane, so she kept quiet. So when he engaged in these conversations or the subjects that we care about, we kind of got the itch scratched, but we never truly got the in-depth conversation that we are yearning for. Like when Drake talked about how he feels when people call him a culture vulture. That's a conversation piece that we care about. But unfortunately for us, the interviewer was Bobby Altoff.
Oh, you're a culture vulture, or like like people will describe the collaborative efforts that I've put forth and the artists that I've picked up and lifted up or shine a light on as me taking, they'll put a negative spin on it and try and tell me, that it's a self-serving thing or whatever. And I think I get really sensitive about that. And I think at that moment I was just like, well, you know what? Then don't even worry about it.
Anybody, and I mean literally anyone
Bruh. Oh my God, bruh. Yeah, Kendrick really did a number on you, homeboy. I ain't gonna lie. He did a number on you, bro. Oh man, he fractured you, bro. That was crazy.
meets the bare qualifications for being competent would have used this as a segue into Not Like Us and Kendrick calling him a colonizer and have that conversation. But I can't even give Bobby too much, like flack, because Drake don't do interviews where he's walking into it not knowing the questions. Drake in his interviews right now, he scripts the questions. He knows exactly what's being asked. His team control the footage and the editing, so they pick and choose what to edit out and what to keep. So it was probably out of Bobby's hands. But I would have loved to see somebody of the culture do a deep dive on this and address Kendrick Lamar accusing him of being this. You even had moments where Drake would reference his beef with Rick Ross, and it went swoop right over Bobby Altoff's head, not knowing exactly what's going on, bro. And as a fan of the culture, man, you just sit back and you say, oh. We were robbed of certain conversations being had, man, because the interviewer was incompetent or had her hands tied behind her back and didn't really have the control of power to act certain things.
I've never seen someone ice rosé, but
You've never seen someone ice rosé? Mm-hmm. Well, talk to every jeweler in Miami that has fake diamonds.
Really, they do that?
Nobody got that joke.
You know what I did, man? Fuck all y'all pussy, man, for real, man. I see y'all boys outside when I see y'all, man, for real, man. On some real shit. I tried some body shit. I'm gonna see y'all boys when I see y'all, man, for real. You know, I got hope. For real. Real talk.
I don't know if you should have done all that.
Yeah.
I'm taking this.
Maybe that was trolling, satire, or maybe he was real when he says, yo, I'm gonna see y'all pee soon in his Atlanta accent. I don't know, man. I feel like that was kind of corny.
Yo, what did I say? Oh, man. Damn, Drake. So, just so happens that Young Thug, excuse me, this is Kendrick. And then you drop an interview where you talking like you from Atlanta. Talking like you Young Thug. Listen, man, I know a lot of y'all saying that's a reach or whatever, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't have done that, to be honest. But yeah, man. All right. How do y'all feel about Drake and Bobby Altoff interview, man? All right. Are y'all satisfied with it? Did it scratch the itch y'all have? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen. Somewhere here.
Yeah, man. So y'all see the end of that video where he acting and saying some things like he from the streets. See you boys and this and that. Like, I can't even, to be honest with y'all, I can't even fake an accent like that. You know what I'm saying? That guy is good. I can't even do that. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. I mean, You out here saying you gonna do something to people, bro. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, man, thank y'all for joining me. I ain't got too much more to say. I said a lot during the course of this video. So I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. You already know what it is. The King out of here. Torture Talk. Go over to Torture Talk After Hours and subscribe too. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for everything. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace, bye.